LIV Golf's final team event is set to have the highest payout in the history of golf. And there's no denying that LIV has been one of the most controversial topics in the game. In fact, it's been the biggest shakeup we've seen in decades. But no matter where you sit on that fence, one thing we can all agree on is that we're all very curious about how this new team event series finale is going to go down. So let's dive right into it. Now, for any of you who've been living under a rock this summer, LIV Golf is the new golf league headed up by Greg Norman that's been a direct competitor to the PGA Tour. Now, where LIV differs dramatically from the structure of the PGA Tour is in the team competition aspect. Now, much like the PGA Tour, LIV does have a season-long individual points winner who wins a staggering $18 million. But if you can believe it, an even bigger payout comes from the team format championship event. So let's break down how the season-long LIV team format works as they head into the team championship. So starting off at each LIV event, there are two winners. You have an individual winner and a team winner. The individual winner is determined by stroke play, something we're much more used to seeing on the PGA Tour. However, another point of controversy has been that it's only over 54 holes as opposed to the usual 72. But the team format is where it gets really interesting. So first, teams were set at the beginning of the season using a draft format, with each team having a team captain choosing what players they want to play alongside for the season. LIV Golf teams are made up of 4 players, but all 4 players do not need to be on their A game every week to win. Pat Perez. And here's how the scoring breakdown works for the teams at these LIV events. Over the first 2 rounds of play, you take the best 2 stroke play scores from each team. However, during the third and final round, it's the best 3 stroke play scores that count towards each team score. And ultimately, with the lowest overall team score for 54 holes, that's who's crowned that week's team winner. So again, one player's score is not going to count if they're not playing well on a particular day, but the overall scores are tallied up, and the lowest team 54 hole score is the winner for that week's event. Now, there's also a season-long running team leaderboard. For this, points are awarded to each team based on how they finish in each tournament. And as far as the points value breakdown goes, the team coming in first place gets 32 points, and the teams in 9th through 12th place are assigned a big fat goose egg. Then after the season's 7th and final individual event in Saudi Arabia, all of the points are tallied up, and that's what's going to determine the team seeding as we move into that final big championship in Miami. Now, if you've been following LIV Golf at all, you know that the 4 Aces team, which is captained by Dustin Johnson, has been absolutely dominant, winning the last 4 events and sitting comfortably at the top of the team leaderboard. So now that we've brought you up to speed on how the team format works throughout the season and the seeding, let's talk about the structure of that big team championship in Miami. So here's where things get a little bit complex, but trust me, stick with me, we'll walk you through this whole thing. The team championship is a bracket style tournament that's split into 3 days of play. Now, during these team competitions, one thing that will remain that we've seen throughout the season on LIV is the shotgun start. And the reason why you want to perform well during the regular season is the teams that are seeded in 1st through 4th place are going to get a bye in the first round. Then the teams in 5th through 12th place will be set up to play match play head-to-head competitions in the first round. And here's where some strategy gets very interesting. The highest ranked teams get to pick their opponents. So first, let's say the number 5 seeded team gets to pick who they're going to play against. Then number 6 gets to select their opponent. So again, that's where getting that higher seeding is really going to help, because now you're going to get to select who you'll be playing against in round 1. Now, for each of these head-to-head team competitions, 3 matchups will actually take place. You'll have 2 head-to-head singles matchups and 1 alternate shot match. And these matches are going to be played until a winner is determined. There will be no ties. Then each of the match winners receives 1 point. Teams that earn 2 points during the first round will advance on to the semifinals in day 2. Here's where those 1st through 4th place seeded teams who got a bye in the first round will have to rejoin the rest of the teams for more team head-to-head competitions. But again, the highest ranked teams get to select their their opponents. Now here we'll see another shakeup with all 32 players on these teams that remain playing simultaneously in a shotgun start. Here again, we see something similar to what we saw in the first round, with each team having 2 singles matches and 1 alternate shot match. Again, each match winner will receive 1 point. And once again, there will be no ties. Everything will be played out until a winner is determined. The 4 teams who have earned 2 points at the end of round 2 will advance on to the team championship in day 3. Now on day 3, 4 teams consisting of 16 individual players will remain. They will tee off in a shotgun start round of stroke play. Those 16 players will be playing in twosomes with the team captains playing together. Now here's the big difference with the regular season. Here, all 4 team scores count. So every player needs to hold their own and play well for their team to win. And at the end of the 3rd and final round, the team with the lowest overall team score is crowned the inaugural LIV Golf Invitational Series team champion. Now here's the kicker, the $50 million payout. Every single player who's in the final team championship will walk away with something, but the winning team will split a massive $16 million final paycheck that will be split equally, so each player on the team will walk away with $4 million. And the 12th and last place team will split a $1 million payout, meaning that each member of the team will walk away $250,000 richer. So that's how the first ever LIV Golf Team Championship is going to work. We'll have to see how it all unfolds here in just a couple weeks.